Don't you forget about me.
Alive and kicking like Simple Minds.
All right, and with that, with the Simple Minds reference, we are off. So, how were you last year?
How you been? What you been up to?
What's
going on? Oh, it's been a whirlwind of activity, I got to tell you. Working at the nursing home and going back to my old hours.
So the last anyone knew, I was going to be, because I listened to the last podcast. Mm-hmm. I listened to the last thing we put up, which was one of two.
Yeah, man. Well, I thought we had 5 at least.
I had some that were lettered.
Right.
Those are going to come down eventually.
Okay.
Eventually.
Okay.
And then we had like episodes 1 and 2, which were what I wanted to keep up there.
Finalized products.
And then I did the update on my computer and couldn't figure out how to fucking make the microphones work anymore.
Right.
So that's one reason why we haven't been recording. The other is, let's see. So last we talked, you hadn't sold the caddy, or you had just sold the caddy.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That was a good wow.
Yeah, that was a good while.
Holy shit.
It's been a fucking year.
Yeah.
It's been a fucking year.
Okay.
Thereabouts.
I was working 2 jobs at the time, I think.
Yeah, you weren't at the nursing home yet, and
Nah.
I had just stopped driving for the Luber or
Right.
lifter.
Right.
And I was trying to get into either the post office or that place down in Chesterville with the auto parts, which didn't happen.
That's right. You were going to deliver auto parts. Yeah.
No. I wasn't.
Right? You're going to be like a delivery driver.
There was no.
No?
No. It was a warehouse. That was a warehouse.
You're going
gig.
to work in the warehouse. That's okay.
That was going to be a warehouse gig, and that I think the last we spoke was I did the drug test. And everything was done, and they're like, okay, we'll call you. And then I didn't hear from them for like fucking 5 months.
Didn't try to call me.
Yeah, so that was, and then I ended up working at the post office. So there you go. I've been working at the post office for a year now.
Gone postal.
I've gone postal.
Yeah.
Worked in a bunch of different offices because I'm technically a substitute, and I'm just getting hours, catch as catch can. And I've been getting, as you know, a lot of hours.
I know you have, but shouldn't that make you into a full-time?
So how it works with that is you have your regular, what they call a regular carrier on the route. And then for every regular route and regular carrier, there's supposed to be a substitute. Now, we're not fully locked and loaded with the substitutes, which means the substitutes move around. We don't just work on our primary. So I have a primary, which is Route 1 here in town. Mm-hmm. And then I also work on Route 2, which is what I've been doing the last couple of days. I also work routes 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.
Damn.
Yeah, I've worked on 6 different routes in the past 2 weeks. So, and that's just because they're not fully staffed. It's summertime, there's people on vacation. And then, so when somebody retires or quits or whatever and moves, and then that job becomes vacant, and then the person with the most seniority we bid for the job.
Gets into that spot.
And the person who has the most seniority. So Route 6 just went up and was bid on, and the guy with the most seniority just got it. And he's going to start on that week after next.
Okay.
So then everybody will move up 1. So that puts me 3rd on the totem pole.
Okay. That's not bad.
Not bad, considering
not bad at all.
When I started, I started in another office and I transferred here into town. Mm-hmm. And then I was... Let's see. I think I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I had 5 people in front of me. So I was actually 6. So in less than a year, I've gone from 6 to 3. And hopefully in another year, I can go from 3 to my own route. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Nah.
I'm getting plenty of work. I'm not too terribly worried about any of that.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. And you, on the other hand, were working restaurants, and then you got a gig feeding old fucks.
Yeah, I actually broke down and did something completely different. Dietary world is incredibly interesting, to say the least. I wanted to change, and I got it. I changed my hours completely around, my personal life in transition, of course.
Also, last time we spoke, you had a wife.
I did. Technically, I still do, but we're just not together. We're in the process of finalizing those things. She just needs to get back to me for sure to get some dates down and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I switched my hours around completely to normally I go to bed at 3 in the morning to I get up at 3 in the morning to get to work at 4:30. And I do 2 serving shifts of breakfast and lunch back to back. Didn't realize what I was stepping into. I thought what I was stepping into was actually a pretty solid situation. Come to find out that wasn't the case at all. Nobody really wanted the position that I was grooming myself into being, and I needed a job, so I didn't really want to turn around and say, no, I'm not going to do this. I'll go ahead and do it. Open for change. And I went through it, and they paid benefits and this, that, and the other, and making a lot of good money at it, but I had to work my ass off to get it.
You did. There for a while, you had a day off every 3 weeks?
Something like that.
Yeah. And then, so you started on that, and then I transferred into town, and then people started bailing out at the beginning of the summer, and that same thing happened to me. And so that's another reason why we haven't been doing this is because, well, let's see. We are both working 7 days a week for weeks on end.
Right.
I was a fucking dipshit when it came to my machinery and couldn't figure out how to make it fucking work. What else? I mean, your personal life falls apart.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of things that come into play.
Whole world's against us, dude.
No, it's not that. It's just we're just in transition, man.
It's a line from Jay and Silent Bob, which, by the way, is a new Jay and Silent Bob coming out.
I know. I saw that on Facebook.
Did you see the thing for reboot?
I didn't go through it, but I noticed watch it. I just scrolled through and saw it for a second.
So let me break it down for you as I know it. So you know how Hollywood is completely void of original ideas, and so they're just rebooting all this stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what's happened is they're rebooting the Blunt Man and Chronic thing.
Okay.
So now they have to go back to Hollywood again to try to stop it from being remade.
And I take it Jay is behaving himself because he's notorious for not being very responsible and having drug problems and this, that, and the other.
I think he's actually got that licked.
Okay.
And has since they made this last Jay and Silent Bob.
I don't know if it was Clerks 2. Clerks 2.
It was Clerks 2.
He was having issues with casting, showing up on time. He was kind of being a pain in the ass.
Well, I mean, he's always a pain in the ass.
Smoking crack and disappearing for days on end and not showing up for...
I thought that was Dogma.
Really?
I thought that was Dogma.
Did it go all the way back to that?
I think that was Dogma. I think by the time they got to like Clerks 2 and everything, like he finally got his shit together. He's got a wife and a kid and
okay.
Like he's on the up and up now.
Okay.
At least last I checked, which was a while ago.
Yeah.
Granted.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's kind of cool,
Yeah.
The entertainment world. That's something that, when I was on tour with the band, we would quote that movie constantly. Oh my God. If I had a nickel for every time I said, taste the booger flavor, I would be fucking rich, bro. Rich. Not wealthy, but I'd be rich.
Oh, you'd be rich. Yeah.
I'd definitely be rich.
Yeah.
And then, so in the past year, of course, we've been listening to lots of stuff. You and I went to see Fish in the last year.
We did.
We went down to...
the last show of Hampton Roads, Virginia.
Yeah.
The last night or whatever. It was...
Hampton came the fuck alive that night because we drove all the way. It was the trip was a little longer than I remembered,
but it was worth it.
It may have been longer than I told Bob it was going to be.
It's all right.
Fucking, let's use the right names here, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, let's get back into character again. Excuse me while I zip up here.
Got your Captain Zero shirt on there. I like it. Yeah, so we go all the way down there, and I'm, on the way down, I'm like, they haven't done any Little Feat in a while, and sure as shit,
sure enough, they did Skin It Back.
Yep, we get down there, which they haven't played in a long while.
That was killer,
and that was awesome.
Great version, man.
Yeah, it was like second tune out.
It was,
and then what was the highlight of that show? Was the
well, you know what, Simple.
It was the Simple
was
first set.
Extraordinary.
It was fucking tits.
It's great.
It was fucking tits. I gotta. That's another one that I got.
And that's on YouTube, right? That's been posted, right? Because you shared that with me.
Yeah, that song. The song itself has been. So that would have been 2018. Because that was in October we went down there, right?
Yeah, it was October.
Yeah, so
early October.
It'd have been the last show, October 2018, The Simple. It's it's on. If I think about it, I'll put it in the... Well, I should be taking notes here.
Yeah, because I had just started at the nursing home, as a matter of fact. Or I was about to, something like that.
So time out while I do show notes here.
Yeah.
So what's today's number?
It's the 6th.
Today is the 6th.
Yeah.
All day?
All day, 8/6/19.
Even if it rains?
I believe so.
Shit. Okay, so Simple Hampton Link. I'll try to... I know before, when we were doing this, I was saying that I was going to do all this stuff, and then I never took notes, and whenever I went back and cut out all the horse cockery like that, where we just sit there and pick our ass for a minute.
Yeah.
Never took any notes, still. Never posted any of the links that I said I was going to post. Nothing.
Well, you know. We'll get around to that.
Yeah, so it's going to be, we're looking on doing this right and proper. And, you know, on the regular, doing our talk about music and entertainment and just, you know, life in general and shit.
Yeah.
You know, like
it's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing.
You know, if you go out and you taste a vagina, or wait a minute, if a vagina
tastes you,
was there?
Sometimes you eat the vagina.
Wasn't there a vagina
Sometimes
tasting?
The vagina eats you.
That's some sort of Eastern thing.
Not too far from it.
More Southern.
It's right up there on the wall, man. Right on the calendar. The stranger is the month of August here.
Yeah. So yeah, Bob's got the 2019 Lebowski calendar.
That's right.
And the stranger is up there.
But unfortunately, the quote they're saying is sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear eats you. But I thought it was bar.
He pronounced it bar, but it is bear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's one that few people know.
Okay.
As them good old Midwestern boys, sometimes when they say bar, they mean bar. But when they say, we got chased down by a bar when we came out of the bar.
Yeah, okay. I got you.
Yeah, so
I got you.
That's what that is. It's a pronunciation thing.
Right.
It's like, I was listening back to that fucking last show, man, and you said, John and whistle. It's still a year later cracked me up.
Whistle.
And whistle.
Ant whistle.
Fucking shit, man.
John and whistle. John and whistle.
So we were talking. You were big on the Who last show. Real big. You were huge on the Who last show.
Okay.
So it's a year.
That's right.
Yeah, it was like the summer of Who.
Yeah, it was.
It was the summer of Who.
It was.
So what is this summer? What's this summer been for you? What are you listening to?
This summer, honestly, it's been a toss-up between the Grateful Dead, Neil Young, Creedence Clearwater Revival, lately The Cure.
Yeah, we were listening. You came and picked me up.
Yeah.
Brought the gear out. And you were listening to The Cure in there.
Yeah.
Now, I listened to today. I work today, deliver the mail. And I I don't do this often. Usually I just do random on the old, the phone, on the iPod on the phone. Today I listened to full albums. One of the full albums I listened to was Mars Hotel.
Okay. Which isn't a bad record. It's got China Doll.
It's got China Doll.
This is one of my favorite quieter numbers they did.
Yeah, that's probably, that might be my favorite. Well,
Stella Blue, the album before that on Wake of the Flood, Stella Blue is definitely probably my personal favorite quiet number that they did during that time. There's quite a bit of different Dead numbers down the line that Jerry and Hunter have done together. Still find that collaboration extraordinary. Robert Hunter's lyrics and Jerry's music, somehow they knew, well, they had a history before that because they played in bluegrass and folk bands together. So they had, Robert was inside Jerry's head, and that was the documentary I was telling you about, The Long Strange Trip, which is absolutely excellent documentary on the history of the band. They actually just talked about the way Robert writes, and he had an absolute abhorrence of even having any kind of photographs taken of him. He didn't like a lot of photos circulating of him. I don't think it had anything to do with him being, a scufflaw or whatever, but It was just the fact that he was just a private person and he just, had his point of view on it, which I can admire because I'm the same way. I don't like photos of myself either.
Yeah, I don't either, but that's because I have tits bigger than most chicks.
Sounds like you need the bro.
Yeah, well, I'm beginning to remedy this.
Seinfeld reference.
So, that was another thing that we talked about.
Hey, we're all getting older, man. I got a sunken chest myself.
No, we're actually talking about. Remember, I was talking about doing that fast last year.
Right.
I did that fast for a week. It ended up that like I couldn't stop eating after that. Like once I don't know if I died of starvation in a previous life or what happened, but like after that, like I couldn't stop eating.
You went to the extremity.
Oh yeah, I went from one extreme to the other.
Yeah,
and it was not. It was very unhealthy because I was eating anything.
Yeah.
And so now after my brother died, I was just also eating anything. And then I tried to do that and just, it flipped something in my brain where I was just like, I felt like I always had to be eating. I felt like I was always, even if I wasn't,
I guess
I was always hungry.
Subconsciously trying to fill something, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's, the waistline of my jeans.
Yeah.
But
I still see, I saw an old classmate of ours yesterday. I'm not going to name names, but I just couldn't get over how overweight he was. It was just like, and I know he saw me and he was probably thinking to himself, God, he hadn't changed a day, which, that's not true. I've gained at least, 20 or 30 pounds since graduation. But then again, graduation was at least, 30 years ago?
Damn there.
So.
Damn there. It's 27 years now. I'm 27.
Yeah. I care about my appearance, man. I always, I was pudgy in school. I hated that. You know what I mean? I finally, I was a late bloomer, at least in my mind, my eyes, or whatever, by the time I was a junior in high school. So
yes, you definitely were. And, you carried your baby fat into high school. You did.
Oh, yeah.
You did.
Oh, yeah. I hated it. You know what I mean?
Well, eventually you got on top of it, and...
oh, yeah. But that's the least of my worries. I shouldn't be that concerned about it.
Yeah, and, for me, it's just about, it's about, being able to see my dick again. So...
Yeah, that's kind of important.
without the aid of a mirror.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm in the past week here I've taken some small steps, but steps nonetheless.
I don't think you're that overweight. Personally, because I've known you a long time, dude. I really don't think you're that out of shape.
Well,
or
and
overweight. You know what I mean? So.
And I also have.
I've seen worse.
Oh yeah, of course. I got some genetic strikes against me too. I take after the men on my mom's side of the family, and they're the kind of like the barrel,
bulkier type,
the barrel guys,
right?
So even when they're thin, they still have like But I could definitely stand to lose about 50 pounds, easy, easy 50.
I could lose at least 10 or 15, but yeah. For my ideal height weight ratio, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's bullshit.
155, whatever,
Like I said, because of my genetics, I'm easily 15 to 20 pounds heavier than most people my height, just because I'm built stocky.
Right.
I come from a stocky line of stocky men.
Yeah.
We're stocky.
Stocky. No, stocky.
I just like saying stocky.
Naga stocky.
Jesus. Careful. We're gonna be racist now.
No. No, none of that. Let me,
Yeah, let's. Time out.
I'm just going to grab a brew real quick.
Baby, take your teeth out. Try it one time. Yeah. So, funny thing is, I actually work with somebody named Luann, and every day that she's in there working, that song occurs to me, and I'm just like, oh, fuck. I tell people, so one of the cool things about working where I work is, my boss is gay. He is very open about him being gay. And we joke all the time. So today,
well, that's cool.
Today I was like,
go with it.
He's not very, adept at the technical stuff, when it comes to his telephone. He's got an iPhone. And I said to him, I was like, hey, do you have FaceTime on your phone? And he's like, no, what's that? I was like, well, that's so, you can see who you're talking to. It's kind of like, Star Trek or whatever.
Right.
He's like, I don't think I have it. I was like, if you have an iPhone, I was like, you should have it.
Yeah.
I was like, the only reason I ask is because I'm going to eat a banana later, and I thought you might want to watch. He's like, I'm calling tech support right now. So then I got back there. I got back at the end of the day, and I was like, hey, I never did eat that banana. I just sucked on it for a while and spit it out. And he was like, ugh. He's like, I got a chub.
Oh, God. I remember seeing somebody had posted a chick was eating an ice cream cone one day or whatever, like rather, lasciviously, we'll say, and
lasciviously.
Yeah.
How does this work again? As soon as it's legal, bud.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. It's like I don't understand why it isn't. I don't understand what the harm is.
Well,
I don't get it.
At this point, the harm is to the
I just don't get it.
To the people who sell legal drugs. And that would be, the industry. That's the problem. See, the big problem.
I know.
The big problem.
You can't put a patent on a natural chemical.
Well,
you have to put
that is
a natural
substance. Not that they aren't trying to do it. They are trying to. They are trying to patent amino acids now.
Well, they have a pill form of THC,
which it doesn't work that well, from what I understand.
Of course, it doesn't.
It's now with the edibles. With the edibles, it's actually the processed plant. But with the THC, that's chemically they're combining things in a laboratory to make THC. It's not natural,
right? How
they're doing it now. It's supposedly indistinguishable, but they have to do some fuckery to get the thing to because the plant does it real easy. It just puts those chemicals together and puts it in the bud, and there you go.
Right.
Science hasn't figured out how the plant does that yet, and
nor should they.
And so
it's a natural thing.
They will.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that because there's actually a lot of food additives and flavoring and stuff that's, they put it in shit food, but it could actually do some good. Well,
if they had a true herb butter, that would certainly also help, a way that it doesn't pulverize you. If you have little dabs at a time, like say you're going to put it on some toast.
Right.
You can have a light dose of that or whatever, and you can actually measure how much you can do, just like you would if servings on a cracker box
that's
or
also
whatever.
The problem with the natural thing is
box.
They haven't come up with a way to measure that naturally. Sometimes you get some edibles that, are just like, ooh, this is nice. I like this. And other times they make you fucking see shit.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And they there's not a way that they can, they're getting better at it, no doubt.
That's why LSD was legal for the longest time, and then because they couldn't figure out whether or not it should be outlawed, and then by 1966,
the law always,
I believe, is when lags behind. That was the time, and
technology still true.
And that documentary talks a little bit about Owsley too, man.
Yeah,
Kid Charlemagne.
What's funny is we know somebody whose stepdad lived with Owsley.
Uh-huh.
And I really need to go over and talk with him again. I want to take this gear over and I want to sit down and I want to have a conversation with him.
Really live with Owsley?
Yeah, live with him
for a time.
He slept on his fucking couch, dude.
Oh shit.
Slept on his fucking couch while he was making acid. So, dude knows, and I would love to get together with him and sit down and have a conversation. So, if you're listening to this, in the comments on Facebook or, BitChute or wherever, if you have a question for somebody who used to live with Owsley, fucking type that shit in because I really am seriously gonna get
Augustus Owsley Stanley to be correct.
Oh, there you go. Fucking Christ, what did you issue his birth certificate? Holy shit. Augustus.
Clean up this mess or else we'll all end up in jail. Those test tubes and the scale, just get it all out of here. Is there gas in the car? Yes, there's gas in the car. I think the people down the hall know who you are. Yeah.
Dude, that was another cover we did. That was
Oh, I know. Well, you sang it at a particular gig. There's footage of you that you showed me, and you were singing lead on that one.
There was one where we played summer camp.
Yeah.
And Mo's drummer sat in with us, and being the drummer, I got up and just did the frontman thing.
Right.
Which I never done before, ever. Right. Never done before.
Right. Right.
Just like, oh yeah, so you just stand up and sing it. And I'm just like, at a festival. Right. I'm used to sitting behind the drums, having nothing in front of me, and I gotta go out and fucking all of a sudden I'm Mick Jagger.
Yeah, right.
Dancing around and shit.
Right. Gotta do it, man.
I wish I'd
I'm not a front man per se.
Well, I wish I'd had the mentality then that I have now, which is, just to really, it's a moment. Just fucking enjoy it. Have a good time. Right. Because I got to that point, but maybe a little late for the whole performance thing. We were, I don't know if I ever told you this story. We were at, I was hanging out with my buddy Sean, and we were hanging out in town at a bar, and some friends of ours happened to be there. It was girls who it was.
Some goyles.
Yeah, it was Lisa and...
Oh, those goyles.
Yeah, it was from our little volleyball group. It was Lisa and Misty, and there was somebody else. I can't remember. There's 3 of them. And we were closing down one place. We were closing down Sierra, and they were having karaoke across the street at the Gills Line. Well, Sean kept trying to get him to come over because, well, I mean, those fucking girls are beautiful. They're all fucking gorgeous. And so my buddy Sean is like, yeah, get him to come hang out. Come hang out. I was just like, okay. I was like, well, they have karaoke across the street. I was like, if you girls come over, I'll sing the song of your choice. They're like, any song? I was like, any song, you name it. So we got over there. They're like, we want you to sing It's Raining Men. And I did. Oh my God. And I fucking did. And not only did I do it, like I went full on, like I was up there dancing around. I was like, I was, filleting the fucking microphone. Oh, wow, man. And I did the the Diamond Dave. The microphone. Dude, like I
forgot about that. Dude.
I was dancing. Dude, I got way into. I'm
singing. I'm dancing most every night.
Yeah, so
bottoms up. That's a good.
And the whole time, like Sean's got his phone up, like he's recording, and I'm sure that he is.
Right.
But he forgot to press record or did something wrong.
No.
At least that's what he's telling me. I think he's lying. He's not a dummy.
He didn't want to have it stored on his phone.
Well, he doesn't want me to know that he's got it stored on his phone. He's showing it to everybody else.
God.
Shows it to everybody everywhere he goes. He's like, this is the George I told you about. Dude, he's a good time. He'll sing It's Raining Men. Do it. So that's happened to me twice now. The first time that someone videotaped me singing something to karaoke, it was Girls Just Want to Have Fun. So like I've got some real winners out there floating around, bro.
Only song I sang at karaoke was out at the bowling alley one night, and there was nobody really out there. There was like maybe 2 people, including the bartender. I did Hard to Handle by the Black Crowes.
Of course.
That's the only. I said, you have any Black Crowes? Black Crowes got Hard to Handle. What about Jealous Again? Nope, just got Hard to Handle. I was like, all right. Fuck.
So, like, your least favorite cover of the band?
Yeah, and every time I saw them, they always fucking played it, dude.
Well,
and they played it because it was a hit here on the East Coast, and it boosted their album sales and their money. And
that's what people wanted to see. And that's actually smart.
You gotta do the hit.
Yeah, you want the people who come to see you come back to see you again.
One time not seeing them without them having to play it.
Dude,
for the one time. Because they did a varied set list every time that I saw them, man.
For a while, every time I saw Fish, they encored with what's the song, the Mighty Quinn.
Yeah, which is not considered the best.
Yeah, it's to me personally, we're phoning this one in. Here's the fucking Mighty Quinn. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, as far as in terms of Dylan is concerned, it's not really one of his better songs. It's kind of a novelty shit
Yeah, the
shit kicker off type of, I don't know.
Speaking of shit kicker, the only time I saw that song that I didn't hate the encore was they followed up with Rocky Top.
Yeah.
Which is a strange combination of songs for an encore. Quinn the Eskimo, or not Quinn the Eskimo. Wow. The Mighty Quinn.
No, it is Quinn the Eskimo, Mighty Quinn, Quinn the Eskimo. It's both.
Oh, is it?
One is in parentheses.
When I think of Quinn the Eskimo, I think right about that time, people.
Yeah,
A fur trapper.
Yeah.
Who was strictly from commercial.
Strictly commercial.
Had the unmitigated audacity to jump up from behind my igloo. Peekaboo. And it started in the whipping on my favorite baby seal. With a lead fit snowshoe. Let feel snowshoe.
Said peekaboo.
Peekaboo. There's one for Moochie. Who does listen to this? I'm going to make sure that Mooch, love you.
Yeah.
I know he's a regular listener when we do this.
Yep. He enjoys it. Thank God.
Mooch is going to get a heads up. This is hey, look at this. Joey, look at the fucking tubes. I've listened to a lot of George Carlin this week too.
Yeah, okay.
a lot of George Carlin of late. A lot of George Carlin, and a lot of Little Feat. Dude, I cannot get enough Little Feat.
Little Feat, yeah. That's good.
No,
man.
that's not one of the albums I listened to today. I listened to
the first album I really like, but the debut or whatever. Snakes on Everything, Strawberry Flats, Willin', Truck Stop Girl, Hamburger Midnight.
See, and you know me, I'm about a band when they're at their peak. Mm-hmm. So like,
well, Time Loves a Hero.
I was gonna say, Time Loves a Hero. The production, on the song, Time Loves a Hero.
Last record album.
Production on that song alone is fucking phenomenal.
Oh yeah, Ted Templeman is on.
Fucking phenomenal. The
Ted
sounds they get on that
Sailing Shoes first
are beautiful.
But I don't know if Ted worked on last record album before that or not. That might have been just Lowell.
Well, you got the machine in front of you there, man. That's what this is for.
Well, I got the disc over there, but
yeah, you got the machine, man.
Yeah, I got the machine.
I'm nothing but a love machine, and I don't work for nobody but you. I was actually thinking about those guys not too long ago too. For whatever reason, I got to work one day, and today when I get to work, I have another song stuck in my head, and sometimes it's something I was listening to, and sometimes it's something that I haven't heard, and whatever. Years and years and years. And one day I showed up, and I had the fucking song from the Cheech and Chong movie where they dun 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 dun. Mama told us talking time I had to live. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, I had that song stuck in my head.
Right?
At work, and I'm just like, I can't sing this at work. It's like I see anything from that album at work.
Yeah, so yeah. Ted came back for Time Loves a Hero.
Okay.
Didn't produce last record album. That was Lowell. So
yeah, see, you need this machine in front of you while we have these conversations.
Down on the Farm, which was pieced together before he died, it actually, I think, came out in April of 79. But that's not the greatest record either, because it's still pieced together. But they did reunite because he split the band for a little bit. After Waiting for Columbus, he kind of put the band on a hiatus because he wanted to work on his solo record. And
which is funny because after he died, like that band has just kept going.
I didn't think. Well, they didn't really reunite though until like late 80s.
Late 80s, yeah. But still, that wasn't.
They had Craig Fuller, who was in
less than 10 years
before that.
Less than 10 years.
But they got Fred Tackett in the band, and Fred Tackett's an amazing guitarist. V.I. Lennon. That's the shirt that I want. Yeah.
We were having that conversation before we started recording.
It says "I am the Walrus" and it has Lennon right here.
I've seen that one. That's hilarious. I have seen that one.
I want that. I want that shirt, dude.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Oh, man.
On the back of it, it should say, Donnie, shut the fuck up.
fuck up, Donnie.
Donnie, shut the fuck up. We'll go after the what have you. Who the fuck?
Well, because the funny part that nobody understands about that scene is like the whole time the dude is actually really, he wants to give his fucking landlord notes, and he's really paying attention. He's just like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. He looks really fucking confused, granted. But he's really trying to figure out, he wants to do the right thing and give this guy notes, and then when Walter does this, shut the fuck up, Donnie, he's just like it takes him out of it, completely. Right. Where he's trying to stay in it, Walter's talking to him, he's like, what? He's just trying to stay with it, It's like, shut the fuck up, Donnie. That's when the dude really comes out of it.
Right.
Like that scene, all those scenes are fucking marvelous, man. Like seriously, I would love to make just one movie where every scene is that good. All the little subtle things that are going on. First of all, you have to have a good story. Second of all, you have to know that story so well that you react to it naturally as an actor.
I'm trying to think of the other ones that the Coens did. It wasn't Barton Fink. It was...
Although they did do that one.
Miller's Crossing. That,
which is probably the one I'm least familiar with. I really need to.
Yeah, check it out a couple times, man. It hasn't grabbed me like Lebowski or Fargo, but because Fargo is definitely one that I love to watch over and over again.
Dude,
too.
No Country for Old Men.
And that's a good one too.
Fucking
that's a
gorgeous.
Good one too. That's a good one.
I could seriously if I had a big screen TV, like something like 4K or something, and I could just sit and watch that movie, I would turn the fucking sound off and just watch it because it is fucking beautiful. Yeah. Some of the shots they get in that are like better than paintings I've seen in fucking hanging in galleries and shit.
Yeah, like the AC fucking ducks or whatever when he's got the suitcase shoved all the way down to the other end on the other side of the room, and fucking he's got a room within a room because he doesn't want dude to fucking catch him or whatever, and it's an incredible fucking ending too. I mean, it kind of sucks or whatever. It's kind of sad, but that's just the way it is, especially when it comes to money.
It's
and it was drug money, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, $1 million cash.
Yeah.
That movie's just it's fantastic. If you have not seen No Country for Old Men, God Almighty, what the fuck are you doing?
I mean, the guy that plays what's his name? I'm trying to think. He's not the bounty hunter. He's being hunted, maybe? Was he the one that...
Oh, yeah, you're talking about...
I'm trying to remember. It's not Josh...
Thanos. Josh Brolin. Yeah.
Not Josh Brolin.
He's the one Josh Brolin is the one who's being chased.
The other one.
The guy who's doing the chasing.
Yeah.
He's a Spanish actor. What the hell's his name?
He had that cattle prod, right?
It wasn't a cattle prod. A cattle prod is electric.
Right.
And it's not meant to be lethal. It's just meant to move it's a cattle prod. They prod the cattle to get them to move them wherever.
Right.
I forget what it was that they called that thing, but let's see here. No.
Or a cattle euthanizer? I don't know.
No, yeah, that's what they use to, livestock. It's not just cows, but
it's just in general. But because he would shoot out the fucking doorknob and shit.
Yeah, get the
break the lock, completely clean.
Josh Brolin. Oh,
Javier
Bardem.
Okay, that guy played the perfect fucking kind of psychotic, heartless fucking,
It was epic. I mean, when that dude walked on screen, you're just like, oh shit.
Heavy fucking presence.
Yeah, somebody could get fucked up if they look at this dude wrong.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of people who want to stay relatively obscure, that's one reason why.
Mm.
When you lay low, you don't create a lot of waves.
Go over to the side court. I want to go over to the side court and shoot my fucking mouth open. Get out of here. You're cutting into my commercial. Fucking Raleigh. Sublime.
I don't know.
I'm making a fucking production man. I'm a businessman. Get out of here. Try to get on this thing, you fucking asshole. You're just a fucking errand boy.
It was Travis that actually got me
Aaron Morrison.
Well, both of
turned
them.
me on to that.
Both of them.
Aaron, yeah, but Aaron had it first, if I remember correctly.
I remember them. I just remember them yelling,
He had me
yelling and
fucking-
laughing
oh
and
my,
shit.
Oh my god, dude! I was like,
What the? Is this a?
love to meet the. I mean, it's almost like skateboard Freddy sitting down and doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could easily see
if I
somebody like him doing.
If I could
that.
trust that like I would trust Joe around this stuff.
It'd be
Absolutely.
fun.
Yeah,
it'd be fun. To
Joe
hear
would
them
be-
just do whatever, you know. Like,
But yeah, I don't
Let
want
him-
to. We have to give them like a handheld and be like, stand the fuck over there.
Let
Don't
him
come over
spiel.
here next to this stuff, or I'll kill you.
well, yeah. Let him spiel because
Because I probably got about
a couple lifetimes worth of fucking stories.
$7,000 of fucking gear right here that we're recording with.
Oh yeah, but I was just saying like Joe's experiences. That man's like,
Well, let's think about it.
I mean, he's a good guy, but he's just man.
He fried himself, man.
I know.
His father was a doctor. He had access to the fucking closet where he kept the drugs. It was the 70s, early 70s, at that. So, the good doctor didn't always lock the cabinet, and little Joey got into it.
Well, I had heard from Lena because Lena was in class with him. She said he was like one of the best dressed people in class.
Yeah, super smart,
And-
like well adjusted.
And then once he went to college is when everything changed, and they said that because of acid.
Yeah, he ate some acid.
Too much.
Well, probably.
And-
And he had a psychotic episode, and he's never recovered from it.
Right.
Yeah, that's the danger of doing too much acid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, I was scared shitless of anything that I did like that, and I started with small doses, and I worked my way up, which is what any fucking sane person would do, I think.
I did 8 hits one night, dude.
Well, you worked
That
your way.
was-
You didn't just do 8 hits one night. You had a hit, and you had a couple hits.
Had
and
4.
Then maybe you had 4 hits, and then you're like, and everyone, you have to go too far at least once with everything.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought my brains were going to come out of my fucking skull.
Dude, I was at a fucking Dead show.
Oh, man.
me and B Dog saw the fucking 3 cheese burrito guy. Holy shit, man. That dude was fucking that dude was every bit as fucked up as both of us remember. We both saw it. We both know it happened. But yeah, the 3 cheese burrito guys screaming about, get your 3 cheese burritos here. All 3 cheeses right in a burrito. And he, like over the top. Buy my burritos.
But it wasn't selling burritos.
I don't know. We didn't stop. We were on acid. We didn't stop long enough to see shit.
Right.
We were fucking
I can't withstand.
tripping the life majestic
I
right
would,
then.
I would have to eat shrooms instead of doing acid.
I think that was
the feeling of shrooms.
That wasn't the
much
first time I
better.
did acid, but it was one of the first times.
Shrooms I can kind of
I did
regulate.
acid.
Acid I can't regulate. Shrooms I can. So I can nibble a little bit here, nibble a little bit there.
With acid is such a fucking crapshoot because you never know what exactly you're gonna get. By the way, folks, we don't do any of this stuff anymore. This is all old shit.
Yeah, this is all old school.
This is stuff we don't touch this shit anymore. We have learned our lessons. We are now processing what we learned.
Yeah. It's not
Which
to
is
say
the-
that we're not open to trying it again.
Well, I don't think I would do acid, or I might do mushrooms again. It'd have to be the exactly perfect circumstance. I wouldn't do it just on a whim.
I would smoke opium.
The thing that I would probably absolutely do 100% is DMT. Because it's something that your body makes and processes very quickly. Actually.
I've heard some negative things about that too.
Well,
I've heard people have negative reactions on DMT.
Yeah, well, the good thing about it is it doesn't last long. It's,
Right.
5 or 10 seconds, unless you have a doctor who's got it in liquid form and is going to inject you with it. There are trials like that are going on with DMT. Probably the most famous documentary about it is called The Spirit Molecule. And it's about clinical trials they had with DMT, and they also, of course, speak to other people who have tried it.
Right.
And they talk about places where you can get, like the South American shaman, medicine men, who
Voodoo.
who not only make this stuff from different plants, but this will give you an idea of how fucked up it is. These plants are not native to similar regions. Mm-hmm. So how in the world they ever came up with mixing this from the mountains up there with mixing this from the rainforest down by the fucking river? They're not even close to the same places. So Jesus,
That's what happens when you drink beer.
Bubbles.
Drinking beer.
You get the bubbles.
Drinking lots of beer.
Well, you're drinking. You got some whiskey over there too.
I got some Irish whiskey.
Well, hey, let's. We're celebrating here. We're back in action. Damn it!
Back
Cheers.
in action. Fucking right. Yes. Let's do it. Aye. We got Woodford Reserve on one side. Bushmills.
That's what I'm drinking.
Irish whiskey on the other.
And his Bobness there is drinking the
Bushmills and
Bushmills. Because Bushmills and Bob go together because the beat.
Bushmills and a Jameson glass, no less.
Oh, so you're killing it with over the pond there.
I got the Protestant poured into the Catholic glass.
Hey, are you sure it's not vice versa?
No, Jameson Catholic, Bushmills Protestant.
Yeah, if you say so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know so.
and like people who are younger than us won't really understand. I don't even really understand that because all that shit kind of ended as we were getting into like junior high school.
What, the religious stuff?
All the stuff in Ireland with the Protestants, the Catholics. I'm sure there's still kind of some hard feelings and everything, and some circles. But I mean, they've made a peace which has actually lasted for a while now.
As far as we know, there's only so much that we know as you know.
Oh yeah,
news media and that kind of stuff, and even the news media, you don't know what to believe. Like there's so many different sources.
Well. Not just different sources, but I mean, you can't even trust the sources anymore. There's no more journalism going on. People are just regurgitating what they've been told they're allowed to say, and that's all they're saying. Right. And if anybody goes off script, then that person is a racist, a white supremacist, a white nationalist, a conspiracy theorist. Oh, that's the biggest one. A conspiracy, a fucking nut, a wing nut, a crazy person. Like, as soon as you're off script, bro, free speech is about to die, so we should really fucking say how it is for while we can. I've
seen outtakes of like not categorized as a meltdown, but just basically calling bullshit out or whatever, and just saying, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. Blah blah blah. Like I've seen newscasters do that on air. Like I'm sorry.
Well, there's a famous one that was actually it was fake. It was done by an actor, but it was done well.
Right.
And so not only does he just like I can't do this anymore. I can't. And so it's not like he just quit and walks off the air. Like he has a whole diatribe lined up, and they just keep the camera rolling, which wouldn't fucking happen if someone was actually speaking truth.
Well, yeah.
If someone was actually speaking truth, well, they'd probably let the camera run, but they would cut away from it, record it, and then use it to blackmail the person later in life.
Right.
And from what I understand, there's a lot of things that go on as far as recording people doing things and blackmailing them with it. I mean, that's kind of how.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of how we've gotten to the point we are, is taking advantage of people's covet means. But we spend all this time talking about bullshit, and first of all, you need a beer, and second of all, we need to get back to music. So quick timeout, and then back to that thing.
Back.
I heard that.
Jesus,
I heard that.
I'm going to be hearing a lot more of it too. This is the IPA.
Oh,
Snake Dog.
Snake Hound. Moving sideways.
It's a goddamn motherfucker, I'll tell you. Packs a punch.
And
which I enjoy. I like a strong liquor and a strong beer. So
I don't know who these girls are. Beth Grant?
What kind of girls you looking at, motherfucker?
Oh, I see. I'm still looking at the cast of No Country for Old Men. Because this Kelly MacDonald was a cutie in the movie. Yeah, she played the Josh Brolin's wife.
Right.
The one the last one to get it.
I thought that was Kate Beckinsale.
Nope. Kelly MacDonald.
Okay.
That makes her Irish.
What's she look like?
It was Josh Brolin's wife in the movie.
Oh yeah, she actually is in Boardwalk Empire. She plays. She's with Nucky Thompson, which is Steve Buscemi's character.
I gotcha. I've never watched.
I'm trying to remember her name.
Boardwalk Empire.
Margaret Schroeder. Margaret Schroeder is her character in Boardwalk Empire. Boardwalk Empire is awesome because it's like it's New Jersey, Atlantic City, mafia, prohibition, all that kind of stuff. Nucky ran the liquor. Like he was the liquor baron of AC.
Nice. Yep. That's a good place to be.
His brother was sheriff. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that makes him uniquely able.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, as long as he and his brother are
he was former sheriff as
cahoots.
well. I mean, he went up through the ranks, Dabney Coleman plays the Commodore, is what they call him. And he is basically, he created Atlantic City, per se. Like, it was his idea to build the boardwalk and put the shops up and all that kind of stuff. That's why they call him the Commodore.
So it's like the East Coast Vegas. He invented East Coast Vegas.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the whole thing. Yeah. Incredible TV series, though. I mean, it's great. I mean, I got into it. Of course,
they take creative license with it. But I'm a big, as you know, I am a big fan of history. Speaking of which, I'm going to recommend that you listen to the Hardcore History podcast with Dan Carlin.
Okay.
It is out of this fucking world. It is so good.
Yeah.
It is so good. That was another thing that was in the last thing that we talked about. The Genghis Khan. He says Genghis. He said that was how it's pronounced.
Genghis.
That's how everyone else says it.
No.
You say Genghis, I say Genghis.
I say no.
I say you're fucking stupid.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
You fucking Genghis bullshit.
Genghis bullshit,
I don't need no
motherfucker.
Genghis
I don't know what the fuck
shit.
he's talking about even.
Genghis.
He says
Gunga.
I'm just telling you. He's a...
Gunga.
So I got that going for me. Which is nice.
There'll be no money.
So...
But on your deathbed, you will receive total consciousness.
So, total consciousness. I'm just going to say the buzzwords. Speaking of buzz, holy shit.
And I'm through with buzz. Yes, I'm through with buzz.
What else you listening to? Let's talk about the music you're listening to.
Well,
and that is kind of why we're doing this.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, gone through a couple of things already with the Grateful Dead, Jerry Garcia.
Right.
The Cure. It has been a little bit more of an 80s restoration.
So I've never been like, and I actually saw a thing recently about the, what with the ladies from the Breakfast Club.
Don't you
Molly Ringwald
forget about me.
Yeah. Which is right where we started. Oh, so full circle.
Simple Minds, right?
coming back around.
Alive and kicking.
I like this.
Yep.
So, I saw a thing, and they were talking, one of the parts about it was they're talking about how they're passing around mixtapes.
Right.
While they're filming the movie.
Right.
Who was the other? Hold on.
Ali Sheedy.
Was
the other.
So those were the two that they were speaking with.
Right.
And they were talking like, it was very much, it was a team effort, that whole movie, because, so whenever they signed on for the movie, they had read one version of the script. You know, they read the version of the script that was there then. Whenever they showed up to do the filming, all the stuff that they loved about the script was no longer in there. It had been changed in rewrites, and it had been noted out by executives at whatever. And so the actors showed up, and they're like, "This is not the movie that we signed up to do. What the fuck? Where is this?" And he was like, "All right." So he brought in every version that he had written. He just brought in a stack of scripts. He's like, "This is everything I've written of this." He's like, "Find what you like." And they each went and they found something that resonated with them as a person and an actor.
Right.
And like got to put that in the movie. And that's why that movie is so fucking good, man.
Okay.
Because like they literally connected with those characters.
Right.
That's what makes that movie awesome.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So like they got to say like the one, they had to say in like who their character was. And I think that is fucking brilliant as a director to be like, all right, you got to trust your fucking team to do that, bro.
Well, I got to say Judd Nelson playing Bender.
Emilio Estevez. Well, if we're going to fucking...
Oh, I love Emilio Estevez. I mean, dude, Repo Man is amazing.
I know you love that movie.
I love that fucking movie.
I know you love that movie.
Repo Man is fucking killer.
That's half of why I brought it up. You know, and I don't know who the fucking principal dude was. I didn't see him in fuck all.
I know he
before
raided
or after that.
Raided Barry Manilow's wardrobe. Don't mess with a bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
Give you the answer to that, Mr. Bender, next Saturday. Which was a great fucking line, man. Dude, that movie was really good. I mean,
John Hughes did well. I think
was
right after 16 Candles, I believe.
That was that, and he did Ferris Bueller too, right?
Did he? Yeah, I guess he did.
Yeah, I think Ferris Bueller's his. Like, those two...
I never got into Ferris Bueller.
Dude, I loved Ferris Bueller as a kid. Oh, fuck yeah. I just loved... Because, like, I was always kind of like...
I like Better Off Dead with Cusack.
Well, when we were kids, I was more like the... I was the straight edge. I was the guy who didn't touch anything. So, like, in order to have fun, I had to do fucked up shit. So, like, Ferris Bueller resonated with me because he didn't do any drugs. He didn't do any drinking. He didn't cut school and get high.
That's probably why I didn't like him.
What? That's probably why I did, because at the time... no, I got into all that shit much later in life, but at the time...
Not me, dude. I started smoking pot when I was 13. Want to get some crystal meth, god damn it. We were walking home one day.
Who is this fag Ferris? Fuck him.
Oh my god.
Twist and shout, suck my nuts.
Yeah, I would light a cigarette leaving campus, you know what I mean? Yeah, dude. I did all that crap.
Yep. Yeah.
I thought I was a little badass.
That is the Bob I know. What you're trying to be.
Nah,
trying to be Bob. That's who you're trying to be, Bobby
fucking
Badass.
Idiot. Fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's how I saw you. But I like that you weren't afraid to be yourself. That's why you and I are friends, man.
I had that power. And then it got, taken down a notch or two, but that's okay. I mean, I've had to learn to humble myself.
Well, I mean, you just got to find out where you can get away with it and where you can't.
You got to humble yourself.
See, and that's where that's I think where I excelled was I knew how to pick my spots.
Uh-huh. I on the other hand did not.
You on the other hand was just like, fuck this, I'm doing this now. I was like, dude, man, you just gotta pick your spots, man. You can't just say, this is, now I'm gonna do this. You look like a shithead.
Fuck it. Worry about that shit later.
But, dude, it was seriously endearing because, like, I was like, I wouldn't do that at the time, dude. I was a little fucking pussy. I was a pussy.
Well, now
and it was Bobby Badass. He was
tables
like,
have turned, though. It's like, I'm not so daring anymore, That's
well, I mean... The thing is,
that's what I'm learning about that.
That's still in you. It's not dead. It's just hidden.
That's true. I mean, it's not
still
prevalent, but it's there. Yeah.
Motherfucker, learn how to pick your spots. I don't want to fucking be bailing your shit out of jail.
No, won't have any of that.
No, won't have any of that. So, did you see our mutual friend Laura Lynn while she was in town?
I did not. I was invited to see them out at the Earlwood. Unfortunately, I turned it down. And I did because there was a mutual friend of ours that I hung out with at his house. Didn't expect to be there as long as I did, but it was very nice. It was great. We were hanging out with them. It was cool, man. It was,
I would love, dude. I gotta get.
I love hanging out at his house.
I gotta get together with.
It's peaceful there. It's it's cool. And they got a nice little piece of land up there,
So speaking of stiff pricks, back to Laura Lynn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, no, it's actually quite appropriate because she works at the Hustler store,
right?
In the French Quarter in New Orleans,
right?
How fucking awesome is that?
Yeah.
I mean, technically it's retail, but she's selling dicks, bro.
She's doing good.
She's selling dicks.
She's doing damn good.
She's doing damn good. I love it.
She must be commended somehow.
Yes,
knighted with several dildos or something. I guess I don't know. But,
we've been.
However, she may want to do it
since she's been. Well, I want to get a sister podcast to this one going with her,
right?
And eventually, I would. I mean, I know you guys aren't on the greatest of terms, but I would still like to get you together to speak.
No, I love her, man. I do. I love her. Oh, I'm not saying she doesn't agitate me. She does.
Well,
she agitates the fuck out of me. Back in the day when we were doing the radio show here locally, I did have a falling out with her one day.
Well, I know that, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. I know there's some history between you guys, which isn't all fucking rosy and golden.
No, that's never going to be.
It's never going to be.
Because life is not like that.
Because Bob picked one of his spots to be a badass, and it was one of the wrong ones.
I love it though, man. I mean, because it gave me time to step away from the whole thing. You came in and replaced. And,
yeah. And she and I did the radio show, and that was fun. And I think that's where we kind of built our dynamic.
Right.
You and I, we fucking busted it all out right here in front of people. Well, not
I
really
helped it out a little bit, but I think you guys probably did much better than I did.
Well, that's because I knew how to fucking be like, okay, instead of saying some fucking fucked up shit while we're recording, you'd be like, hey, you know, I feel like it would be better if we tried something like this, or, you know, let's work it out. Instead, while we're recording, you're like, you know what, fuck you, and this sucks, and suck my dick, and you walked out.
Right.
It's not the way to fucking do it.
Right. Right.
Especially with somebody you consider a friend.
But you're gonna fight. You're gonna fight and have disagreements.
Yeah,
man.
you can have a disagreement, but you be civil. Be like, okay,
have
look,
to be
this doesn't.
civil.
Yeah, it does. It
No, it
should. It should, man, because community is fucking cool. It's actually really cool.
No, but if you're passionate enough about something, you should be able to get that across.
Yeah, but you can do it without being a fucking cunt. That's my point.
Maybe sometimes you can't.
Have you ever fucking tried? That's all I'm asking. Just fucking try once in a while. No. Fuck you, bitch. All right, so you and Laura Lynn are just not going to get along. Fine. Fine.
No. I didn't say that. I did not say that.
No.
She's a good woman. She's a damn good woman.
She is a good woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's done her best to fucking take care of kids, given that, you know, her shit went sideways.
Hey.
And, like, completely changed who she was in her life. Like, I fucking seriously, bro.
She's endured. Yeah, man.
I'm like, she just fucking cut a trail that,
it's awesome.
frankly, nobody was doing at the time, dude. Like, she fucking picked the thing and went
I had
on
no
it.
idea that would occur either. You know, I mean, I
But
always
dude,
thought,
she not only did she like pick a thing and go with it, like she's fucking killing it.
Mm-hmm.
She's killing it.
Well,
Killing
what
it.
doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's what.
Oh,
they say,
dude, seriously,
so,
like
yeah.
she's. I'm very fortunate that she's a friend of mine. I feel blessed to know somebody like her.
Mm-hmm.
And we know I know a couple people like her. Like King had it from the start.
Yeah.
That motherfucker just went out and did shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't give a fuck about nobody. He's just like, I'm the king, motherfucker, and this is what's going on.
Right.
And like he owned that shit, and he fucking makes it work.
Yep.
Laura just at some point got to a point in her life where she's like, this is not me. This is not what I'm doing. And she completely remade herself.
Right.
As cool and beautiful as she was before this, like she found herself, man, and fucking lives in it. And seriously, that's fucking hot. That's fucking hot and sexy.
Totally the way to do it.
It really is. Yep. It's hot and sexy. And I have, you know, I've gotten there in eeks and ooks, you know, where it was one night she's like, this is who the fuck I am. And just went on it.
Right.
Like that takes fucking balls, bro. Or tits in her case.
Oh, yeah.
Or ovaries, or however you want to fucking phrase it. But like, you know, it took chutzpah. She had real fucking spine to go out and just fuck. This is who I am now. Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's fucking hard, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's real hard.
Oh yeah.
And it can be done. And like the thing is, the part that nobody that I understand now, but I didn't I wish somebody had told me when I was younger is two things, man. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing, no matter how much they pretend they do. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. Everyone's out here fucking catch can day to day. You know, we all make the best laid plans of mice and men, all that shit, you know? So, and then let's live in the moment, because the moment is really all you got. And
are you in the pocket of the moment? Another Blue Oyster Cult reference.
cool grooves in your socket.
Latter day, but you know.
Cool
It's
grooves in your
it's
Oh,
a damn
cool
good
vibes
song,
in your
though.
socket. And that's, Humphreys McGee. You're not familiar with them.
Okay.
Which you should be. You really should be familiar with
Yeah,
Humphreys
I
McGee.
know, but
I'll give you some stuff. Okay, so with the Humphreys, recently they had, since we're talking music, recently they had the 10-year anniversary of their album Anchor Drops, which was, the first album with their new drummer Chris, who was fucking phenomenal. Like he completed that band. So, you know, you had a guitar player who was like a rhythm guitar player who was like, who can play leads because he's fucking like totally into Al Di Meola and all kinds of shit.
Oh yeah.
And then you got the actual lead guitar player who was who was an Eddie Van Halen clone and then fucking grew beyond it. And is his own fucking shit.
Oh, that's beautiful.
No, it really is beautiful, because this guy does run super fast and smooth as butter. Like Jake Sininger is
Eddie Van Halen clone, huh?
He started as because he was like every once in a while they'll get into something like and they'll just start playing Hunt for Teacher. They'll kind of morph into it, you know, jam into it.
Right.
They've done it a bunch.
Extraordinary. Like,
yeah, and like
would have thought it would have been some more of a jazz player. Well, the other guitarist is Al Di Meola.
Well,
you would have thought
influenced
maybe
by
somebody like,
but like he's got those guys had their influences
Jeff
are so
Beck
all
or
over the
maybe,
place, and then
you
you got you've got a keyboard player. Who is sparse but contributes. You've got a drummer who's over the top. You've got a percussionist who's got his own unique style. Like, I mean, you got everything to make a fucking terrific. Oh, and the bass player.
I was getting ready to say the bass player.
The bass player is fucking solid as a rock.
Kind of like not really a Jocko, but more of a Michael Anthony maybe or something. Or
No. Beyond that, like
Barry Oakley.
Ryan Stasek is the bass player, and he is solid as fuck. In fact, between the drums and the bass, the bottom is so fucking solid that they can literally do anything they want on top and make it sound just phenomenal. And the thing is, so whereas most bands, when they improvise on stage, like with Fish and the Grateful Dead before them, it's always been a listening exercise. It's always like, okay, so we're playing this, we're in this tonality. Somebody plays a note which changes the tonality, and the band either agrees and moves with them or disagrees and stays where they are. And that's kind of how their jams evolve, which is different from jazz, because in jazz, the tonality stays the same. In fact, they're just over a series of changes.
Right.
This has become known as Type 1 jamming in the jam community. You need to know this anyway.
Type 1 jamming.
It's called Type 1 jamming. So Type 1 jamming is the changes are established and they stay on the changes, or they stay in the key or in the modality in which, the song was written and in which they're performing, and nothing changes. Type 2 jamming is when you get outside of that.
Right.
Somebody changes the key. Somebody changes the modality.
Yeah.
Instead of being in, in A Dorian, now we're in A Phrygian because somebody played, a note that changed what mode we're in. And the band hears it and goes with them.
Right.
That's been happening a lot with Fish since, I would say probably around the IT Festival, maybe a little before.
Okay.
They really, if you want to, have a really good early example of them changing tonalities, the Ghost from the IT Festival is probably the best thing to listen to. And I think we should listen to it later. And
Okay.
that's another link I'll put down. Let me take a note here real quick.
Cool. Story of the Ghost. Yeah.
So
I love the Momo dance.
So
The moment it ends, the I feel wins. I love that song.
I Moma Dance is also
it's a great number.
about that that was the first time where I saw them like very comfortable working in it, and they changed the modality, and so how everything in Western music goes 5/1. That's the big progression.
Yeah.
So they kept changing modalities and changing chords, and eventually got to the 5 chord, and then did the whole big back to the 1. And dude, it was fucking epic.
Huh.
It was. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. It was fucking epic, and it was something we're gonna have to listen to very loud in order to get the full thing of it. And then because this is the simulation and this is how Earth works, very shortly thereafter, someone hit Trey's guitar with a glow stick and took him out of it, and everything just fell apart after that. I'm wondering what would have happened had that not happened, where that jam would have gone, because like it took the band out of it.
Yeah.
It took Trey out of it, which instantly takes the band out of it.
Yeah.
So there's that.
It's like with Jerry. Again, going back to that documentary. Jerry did not want anybody to lead. He didn't want to be the leader of the Dead. He didn't think anybody should be president of the United States. He said it's not fair to anyone. You have to be the head of something. That's ridiculous. I was like, well, yeah. I mean, I
have heard Jerry say that there shouldn't be a president.
Yeah. Get him
Yeah,
all.
sure.
Get him all. Get him all. Go on, get him all. Which that was a hard scene for them to do.
I know. There was actually negotiations that went on for that scene to happen.
Because
right?
they were not cool with each other.
No, they were not cool with each
Bill
other.
kind of replaced Chevy. But I love Bill Murray, man. I mean, Bill Murray's really, really cool, man. I mean, he's Good people.
But,
Wes Anderson films. He's usually in at least 5 out of the 9 Wes Anderson films that have been made. I
he
think.
has been, and I just saw that Groundhog Day is back. The kid is back on the escalator again. Which was another thing that was kind of going around during the last thing that we recorded.
Groundhog Day.
Well, not Groundhog Day, but that kid was back on the escalator. I was on the whole Mallrats trip.
Yeah.
There's every once in a while, I was just be like, that fucking kid is back on the escalator again. I don't know. I meant to suggest to you that you listen to it again before we do this.
Right.
I'm glad I did. I'm sorry I didn't tell you to do it. Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry, buddy.
All good.
Sorry. But for the sake of continuity, it's a good thing to, you should still go back and listen to it.
Okay.
Because it really is the beginning of us, finding our groove with this whole thing and having a conversation and just kind of letting it happen instead of forcing it into, this is what Bob is listening to. Yeah. So dude, you were taking some fucking hard turns into well, back to this and this. Like, the flow has gotten real good with this, and we just need to get better at leading us back to what are you listening to. Speaking of which,
right? What
else are you listening to? See how we do that? We just bring it back around,
right? I mean, like I said, besides The Cure, Grateful Dead, a little bit of Echo and the Bunnymen.
Really?
Yeah. A little bit of an 80s vibe going on for some reason. I don't know why. If it's time of the year, school's about to start. School's about to start up again. I don't know if it's that or it's, probably is.
Maybe that's...
And this is when I was,
You should actually pay attention.
Going into high school.
Yeah, you should watch the whole breakfast. Dude, if we've got... I don't think we'll have time.
Because actually it would be into 90 or whatever, but... I mean, this would be 89 if it was, back in those days. Because it's 2019. So, the nines have it.
There you are. The nines have it.
Yeah. So it makes sense, Is it 30 years later? No, it's not 30 years later, is it?
Breakfast Club? It's more like 40.
89.
89. 80, 90, 2000, 30 years. 30 years since 19... Dude, that makes us old official.
That's what I'm saying, 30 years ago. So,
So, like, 30 years ago now is, like, in our remembering, in our recollection.
I was sophomore in high school.
Yeah, 89. I figured out by that... the
freshman? The
thing is, yes, we were by the... You can tell what grade we were in by the year. So in 89, we were in 9th grade.
Right.
And in 90, we were in 10th grade. And 91, we were in 11th grade. And in 92, we were in 12th grade.
Right.
So that's where we ended the year every year, was on those numbers.
Right.
So our class that's how I remember what grade I was in, because it matches the numbers of... Dude, in 1984, I was in 4th grade.
Right.
I remember... Dude, you were the one who showed me fucking 1984, the album. I saw it from your hands the first time I ever fucking saw it. You handed me the cassette. You're like... This is the new Van Halen album. I'm looking at it, and it was actually 1983. It was getting ready to be 1984. It was like right before and after. It was right around Christmas. I remember it was cold outside.
Okay.
Because I think it came out in December of 83.
I thought it was
November or
New Year's
December.
Eve. I thought it came out New Year's Eve.
I can't remember exactly when it came, but it was right around there. I was right around New Year's.
New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, because...
Which is, dude, fucking
and
incredible.
That was Waxy Maxie's. It was Waxy Maxie's. I bought it at Waxy Maxie's.
Okay, so they
had it on display right up front. I was like, yes.
This is one of the reasons why Bob is like fucking dear to me. So, in 1984, when the Van Halen album came out, motherfucker was so on it. He had it within a month of its release. Okay.
Less than.
How old are you in 4th grade?
Day of release.
No. Answer me this question. How old are you again in 4th grade? 10?
I think I was 9 or 10.
10?
Yeah.
10's pushing it. Dude, at 10, you're tied into fucking dude.
Yeah.
New Van Halen the month it comes out.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yep. Yep.
You were always on the fucking front of it.
Yeah.
Like, and this
music is an obsession.
You handed me, and I'd never even fucking heard of it.
I was reading magazines. I was doing Circus and Cream and Rolling Stone, and
I had no idea because
Rolling Stone was a little bit later, but
although
Metal Edge, Hit Parader, Oh my god,
Right, Hip
dude.
Parader? Oh,
Hip Parader.
fuck.
Jesus Christ, yeah,
Dude,
blasting
so-
the class.
I realized we met in first grade, but we didn't really connect until fourth grade.
Yeah.
So first grade, we met when I threw your hat in the mud.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
didn't have a good feeling towards old fucking Phil until like fourth grade.
I was a little whiny bitch.
All kids are, man. All kids are. It's their fucking job.
Just, yeah.
But that's a fucking job. But you didn't like me for the first few years that we knew. But of course, we were fucking kids, man.
Oh, yeah.
From first, like in fourth grade, so at 10 years old, when we're like old enough to actually do some real fucking thinking, it's like, hey, I thought around my first corner today, dude. And you're like, Van Halen. I'm like, oh shit. It was like that. That's like basically when I came online, bro, when you started feeding me music.
Okay.
And like, this is why I love you, man, because like, at every fucking turn of my life, you've been there. You've fucking been there.
Right.
Hey, going on tour with my first band. Guess who the sound man is?
Right?
Fucking Bob shows up, gets it done.
Yep. That's right, man. Yeah,
Hey,
you're right.
who's getting us pulled over and fucking...
Outside of
It's the Colorado State Police.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
Bob
yeah.
forgot to check the taillight.
Yep, that's right. That's right. That goddamn taillight. I'll never forget that.
Dude, I know you feel bad about that, and like, it's seriously, between me...
Oh, Jay told me, man. Like even afterwards, like after that night, he said, "Dude," okay, so we were on our way back to the hotel or whatever in Denver, I think, and he said, "Dude, don't fucking worry about it, man." He's like, "Seriously, it's not that big of a deal." I'm like, "I know, man, but I have to try to repay you in some way or something."
Grand
You might
Wazoo.
not believe this little fella, but it'll cure your asthma too.
Which is not the Grand Wazoo, because I listened to Apostrophe today.
Yeah.
So I listened to... What did I mention before? What day is this?
Well, I do work, sir.
Which later on in the movie is even... If you know what happens later on in the movie, that's even funnier. that
Oh,
line.
yeah. Ah, shit.
Yeah, we're all over the place now.
I
Hey,
know.
liquor's working.
Alcohol does it every time, man. Especially me, man.
That's
Like-
why we're doing this, though.
We're doing it just to drink?
Well, that's part of the reason.
Oh, yeah. Actually, it is kind of...
We both got ourselves some designated drivers. Bob, none. Me, Mom.
Yeah, I'm staying at home.
Well,
Kids, because, it doesn't pay for old Bob to get out on the road when he's intoxicated.
yeah, it doesn't pay for anybody to get on the road when they're intoxicated.
No
And let
one.
that be a lesson to all of you. There's really...
Don't do it.
Don't do it. There's
Never,
so
ever.
many better ways.
And I'm not saying that I'm guilty.
And like, see, the thing is, there's no excuse nowadays. Like in our day, there was no Uber, there was no Lyft, there was no ride service, there was no local taxi, there was no fucking.
They tried to have a taxi service around here in the mid-90s.
It's been tried a
course it
bunch of
didn't
times.
work.
It's never worked.
Senior Center has a bus that runs periodically.
You know, I tell you what, if I didn't have to have a vehicle for work, I would have a vehicle for Lyft and Uber. And what I would do is I live in town, so I would
Right.
just turn it on.
Right.
Whenever someone needed a ride, I would just go get in the car and go give them a ride.
Pick them up.
Yeah.
Get like an 8-seater.
I don't know where that came from. I was just fucked up. Sorry. We can listen back to
That's
it.
fucking awesome, dude.
We can edit it out or not.
Multiple fucking seats. 8 seats.
It's an 8-seater, bro.
I got pissed.
Confess.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. This is awesome, dude. So this is actually in sections because we keep stopping. So this is perfect. I can do the beep cut. Beep cut. All right, so just did a little jump cut there.
All right, so this is like, at least for
This is the last.
Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob right now is entering the intoxicated zone. So this is what's going on here with
Ladies
me.
and gentlemen, we are in the last segment of the show.
Yeah. It could be 10 seconds. It could be 10 minutes. We don't know. Could be, I'm mid-sentence. I'm like, We don't know. I don't think it's going to be that extreme.
I've seen it. I have seen it.
Yeah, and we'll see it again. 'Cause that's part of what I do.
It's
I apologize for that.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, sometimes it is.
No, it's a beautiful thing because seriously, there's something in in everyone's life where you just need to be. I'm going to go after this with reckless abandon, and for you, it's the alcohol.
Unfortunately, yes. But that's going to do me in sooner or later as well.
Well, I mean, the fucking 35 years of smoking probably didn't help either.
I did go to a family reunion this past weekend.
Really?
One of my grandfather's brothers.
Over in,
So I don't know if she's my cousin. She's my cousin. So, you know, her father's house, I think, I don't think it was Med. Was it Med or was it Ward Jr.? It might have been Ward Jr. But they have I think they got 40 acres, I think, out there.
40.
Yeah.
That's a lot of acre.
Mm-hmm.
You could grow a lot of hemp on that acre.
Beautiful out there, man. It's beautiful.
Dude, we live in prime real estate for hemp farm. Prime.
That's what I wanted to do
estate.
with that. But state's dragging its fucking feet.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of time. You know what I mean?
Pull it in. Pull that microphone in. Pull it in. Or pull up to it.
I want to be able to, climb the mountains, sing up to the top of the hill, do the songs that I want to sing. I don't have that kind of time. Giving you all the keys to the studio. Go make Daddy a hit.
There's turn that shits up.
Shutting the studio down. Y'all not working together as a team. Who are the best rappers in the world? Dylan, and Dylan, because I spit hot fire. Fucking Chappelle shit, man. I love it, dude. I love it. Love it all. Love it all, man. It's
you
awesome.
know what I've never... Is South Park still being made? Because
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it probably is. I haven't watched it in a good long time. I could call my buddy Bobby. He's, hardcore South Park fan.
So, South Park. Wiki. That doesn't give years. The show's 23rd season will premiere on September 25th, 2019. So yeah, still making episodes.
23. Not quite as long as The Simpsons, but
they're right
I don't know if The Simpsons are still going or they're done.
I don't.
Are they still going?
Are they? They're never going to cancel The Simpsons. They're going to keep putting out some kind of
think?
crap with their fucking faces and voices until the actors are dead or they can't get people to sound close enough approximation to them.
Approximation. Wait, first time I seen her sitting on a log, waving her tits at Buffalo Bill. Time out, bring her to a tree. Gonna time out, bring her to a tree. Second time seeing her sitting on a hill. Waving her tits at Buffalo Bill. Time I pick her to a tree or a tree. Time I pick her to a tree. I'm gonna turn this glass into a dick. Isn't that a peach? Turn the glass into a dick. It's supposed to be turn the napkin
into a fruit. Piece of fruit.
Turn this glass into a dick.
Hey man, I'm gonna turn this glass into a dick.
Looking for Mr. Goodbar? Well, here he is.
Oh, there he is. And there's another person that I need to speak with. See, I have to try out the whole. There's a new feature now with Skype that you can record the call. Like you can just record it. It'll make its own audio file, and you can take that and dump it into Audacity, which is what I use, or you can dump it into whatever it is, fucking iTunes, not iTunes, GarageBand, or name your fucking mixing, whatever. You just take the audio file, dump it in there, edit it. You know, you can do it with or without picture, which I would do it without because who wants to look at us?
Motherfucking thing freaked me out, man. I forgot. I was like getting into my trip. I was like, oh shit. What the fuck is this? I gotta speak into it. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm speaking into it.
Oh, wow.
Gonna tie my picker to a tree, Gonna tie my picker to a tree.
Yeah, I think we're done. That's it. Got.
Now it's time for the Corsican Brothers.
Stay tuned for the Corsican Brothers. And cue the music.